We spoke with family members and close friends grieving the loss of David Camacho, who was shot and killed while enjoying his weekend with his friends. Dwayne Wilkerson, or Mal G, shares a...
All right, we're going to have more from Darren coming up at 5. Some technical difficulties there, but we're following some developing news. Meanwhile, this afternoon, right out of North Providence, crews there responding to 2 fires this morning within just hours of each other. The first one breaking out at a home on Rest Mound Terrace around midnight. We're told 3 dogs died in that fire. We do have the wrong video here, but 1 person was taken to the hospital. A second call came in shortly after for a fire inside of a vacant building on Hamlin Road. Nearby trees also caught fire, making the situation even more dangerous for firefighters there. We'll have what those firefighters had to say coming up.
The building itself was very dangerous at the time. Probably about a half hour in, we gave the order to evacuate and nobody to go in the building.
Meanwhile, fire crews say that there were signs of homeless people living there. Things like mattresses and blankets were found, but no one was inside the building when it caught fire. The cause of both of those fires is still under investigation right now. We're tracking new details right now out of Boston. The U.S. Supreme Court agreed to reconsider the death penalty for Boston Marathon bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. Now, last July, a federal appeals court wiped away Tsarnaev's death penalty, saying he should be given a new penalty phase trial because jurors in his case were biased. He was convicted in the 2013 marathon bombings that killed 3 people and injured hundreds of others. The Supreme Court expected to take up this case later this year. And turning now to our continuing coverage of the coronavirus, the vaccine eligibility list expanding in Providence and Pawtucket. Anyone 18 and older in specific zip codes in those cities can get the vaccine. The goal, to vaccinate the hardest hit communities in the state. ABC 6 News reporter Olivia DeRocha joins us live in Providence with those details. Olivia.
Brooke, this immediate eligibility is for 5 zip codes in Providence and for both zip codes in Pawtucket. Now, these zip codes are communities outlined by the state to have been the hardest hit by COVID, like communities of color, high-density areas, and low-income populations. Now, these areas in Providence are 0, 2, 9, 0, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9. Again, anyone 18 and older in these zip codes can sign up for a vaccine appointment immediately, but appointments are first come, first serve basis. Mayor Alorza says the only zip code not included in this eligibility expansion is 02906, or the east side of Providence. He says that's because it's not defined as a high density community by the state, but says they're working to get eligibility for everyone in Providence as soon as possible. The mayor today says vaccinating these populations is critical and will help slow the spread throughout the entire community.
If you look at the DOH statistics on this, the hospitalization rate is actually higher for folks 25 and over in these HDC zones than it is for people 60 plus in non-HDC zones.
And now Mayor Alorza is also asking for partners and communities in the community that can run clinics to contact the mayor's office to further speed up the rollout process. Now, officials also add, even if you're eligible to get a vaccine, you might not get an appointment, but just to keep trying and to stay patient. Live in Providence, Olivia DeRocha, ABC 6 News.
Olivia, thank you. New today at 4, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Rhode Island going back on its decision to no longer cover certain COVID treatments. Last week, the insurance company announced that it would no longer cover costs for office visits and other treatments related to the coronavirus. They said they were doing this because vaccines are more widely available. Well, today the company announced it's reversing that decision and will continue to cover all COVID treatments. That includes testing as well. No reason, though, was given for that change. Meanwhile, Massachusetts officially in phase 4 of its reopening plan. That's some good news for local businesses as well as people traveling to the Bay State. ABC 6 News reporter Scott Cook continues our team coverage today from Foxborough.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, you have to act fast. Call me right now.
Tom Sparks settled my case fast. He got me $275,000.
Tom Sparks got me $450,000.
It starts with Sparks.
1-800-SPARKS-LAW. This week, in some states, COVID cases are rising. Some are going down. What's causing transmission levels to vary? And what about the variants? With so much at stake, World News Tonight with David Muir is America's #1 most watched newscast.
Injured in an accident. Tell them you mean business. Call D'Oliveira and Associates on the Hurt Line right now.
Watch ABC 6 News in the morning, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m.
If you rank 20 midsize SUVs by lowest maintenance cost, the Volkswagen Atlas and Atlas Crossport rank #1 and #2, beating Subaru, Toyota, and Honda. So really, the only thing better than a Volkswagen is a Volkswagen. Now's a smart time to get into a Volkswagen SUV at our Sign Then Drive event. Lease a new Atlas Crossport for 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 due at signing, or get 0% APR financing for 72 months.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, you have to act fast. Call me right now.
Tom Sparks settled my case fast. He got me $200,000. Tom Sparks got me $326,000.
It starts with Sparks.
1-800-SPARKS-LAW.
Bringing you breaking news as it happens.
How dare they?
Getting you ready for what's coming up next. ABC 6 News first at 4.
We're tracking a rain snow line.
Your first weather forecast to plan your night. Your first news, keeping you informed. You need answers. We're on it. ABC 6 News first at 4, immediately after Hot Bench.
These are real people, not actors, who've got their eczema under control. With less eczema, you can show more skin. So roll up those sleeves and help heal your skin from within with Dupixent. Dupixent is the first treatment of its kind that continuously treats moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis, even between flare-ups. Dupixent is a biologic and not a cream or steroid. Many people taking Dupixent saw clear or almost clear skin and had significantly less itch. Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, which is severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, or a parasitic infection. If you take asthma medicines, don't change or stop them without talking to your doctor. So help heal your skin from within and talk to your eczema specialist about Dupixent. If your financial situation has changed, we may be able to help.
Spring is finally here, and you're just itching to upgrade your stuff. The best way to do that is in a new Hyundai, like the Santa Fe, with an available class-exclusive digital smartphone key and loads of the latest technology. Drive your upgrade home instead of having it delivered, although we can do that too during the Hyundai Spring Upgrade event.
Lease a 2021 Tucson for $149 a month, or get 0% APR plus $1,500 bonus cash and no payments for 90 days. Hurry in.
We make this commitment to you. Tonight's breaking news, updates on today's top stories, and tomorrow's big events. See 11 minutes of nonstop news and weather. Turn to 11 at 11, only on ABC 6.
Back to that news we were just telling you about. Massachusetts in phase 4 of reopening its economy. ABC 6 News reporter Scott Cook has more on what this means for people and businesses in the Bay State.
Despite some pushback from a number of health groups, Massachusetts officially entered phase 4 this morning. And some of the biggest changes, fans are now back allowed inside of arenas and stadiums like Gillette here. And also the state's travel order has been reduced to just a travel advisory. The travel advisory urges everyone entering Massachusetts, including residents, to quarantine for 10 days if they've been out of the state for more than 24 hours. But the state will no longer be fining people if they don't, and has done away with travel disclosure forms. There are some exemptions for people who are fully vaccinated or tested negative within 72 hours of their arrival. They're not being asked to quarantine. According to TripAdvisor, the demand for leisure travel is trending up, with many people booking getaways to beach locations where people can spread out outdoors.
We've been looking at some of our data in Massachusetts, amongst Massachusetts travelers. And last month, we started to see travel searches up about 25% year over year. This month, we're looking at 95% plus year over year travel searches for hotels.
Event venues in Massachusetts now allowed to increase capacity to 100 people indoors and 150 people outdoors.
Opening indoor venues and increasing the capacity to 100 people in these small spaces is just not conducive to keeping those transmission rates low.
But the Massachusetts Public Health Association and 29 other nonprofits across the state think Phase 4 happened too quickly. They even penned a letter to Governor Charlie Baker asking him to push back the start of Phase 4.
If we open too quickly and we see another surge in cases, we are going to be put another step back, and it's going to take even longer for Massachusetts to reach the kind of levels where it's safe to open.
But the governor never responded, yielding those efforts unsuccessful. Also starting Monday, dance floors allowed to return at weddings, overnight summer camps allowed to reopen, and stadiums like Gillette, Fenway Park, and the TD Garden can now have fans back in the stands, opening at 12% capacity. And under those new capacity restrictions, the Red Sox will be allowed to have 4,500 fans inside of Fenway on opening day, April 1st. Here at Gillette Stadium, roughly 7,900 fans will be allowed inside when the Revolution kick off their season later in April. At Gillette Stadium, Scott Cook, ABC 6 News.
Scott, thank you. Meanwhile, good news nationwide, with nearly 25% of the U.S. having already received a COVID vaccine. This as officials try to crack down on spring breakers who could lead to a spike in cases. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
So far, White House officials say nearly 1 in 3 American adults have one shot. New mega vaccination sites popping up from Kansas City to Nashville.
Take care of my 98-year-old blind grandfather, so it's kind of important to get vaccinated as soon as possible.
Teachers in New Hampshire breathing a sigh of relief as they get their shots.
They are just beaming when they walk in the door.
Good news as fears grow over a potential fourth surge, cases rising in at least a dozen states.
These statistics should serve as a warning sign for the American people. Now is not the time to travel.
But those looking to party seem to be ignoring that.
City of Miami Beach is currently under a state of emergency.
More than 1,000 arrested in Miami since spring break began. Police shooting pepper balls into crowds defying the emergency 8 p.m. curfew, now extended until mid-April. Last week, Miami had the highest test positivity rate of large metro areas in the U.S., and experts worry if people continue ignoring safety precautions, we may see similar surges across the country. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
All right, thank you, Rena. Meanwhile, AstraZeneca now saying its vaccine is 79% effective in preventing symptomatic cases of COVID-19. The company says the vaccine is 100% effective when it comes to preventing severe disease and hospitalizations. AstraZeneca is expected to apply for emergency use authorization from the FDA next month. 6 News is your trusted local source for all coverage of the coronavirus. For the latest on vaccines, signups, and state restrictions, all of that is on our website, abc6.com. And you can also download our ABC 6 News app. We'll send you alerts right to your phone. Turning now to a check at the forecast now with Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Jeff Denoyer. Jeff, it is gorgeous out. Everyone better get outside and enjoy this weather. I mean, this is amazing. Keep it like this every single day, please.
Well, it's been a great run. You know, I mean, it's Saturday, Sunday, now today, sunshine, 50s, 60s, and in March, it's pretty nice. You can see it out in Providence right now, plenty of blue sky. An absolutely gorgeous day, not much wind, a very light southeasterly breeze, about 5 to 10 miles per hour, making it just a little cooler at the coast, but areas inland got close to 60, and at the beaches we're right around 50 degrees, and there's that light wind, about 5 to 10, up to 15 miles an hour, but the direction's more important. That's why it's keeping it just a little cooler at the coast. Clouds to the south, clouds to the west. We sit in between with just a passing cloud or two through the evening. Temperatures will fall back into the 40s. The drop will continue after midnight, take you back to the 30s. Overall, not a bad night, and we'll set you up for another nice day for tomorrow. Your forecast for Tuesday coming right up.
Now to that backlash involving college basketball fans calling foul after a video posted on TikTok showing the difference in workout facilities given to the men's and women's teams during March Madness. ABC's Eva Pilgrim has those details for us.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
With great deals, get ready to turn your dreams into reality.
Lease an all-wheel drive Camry for $235 a month and get a complimentary first month's payment with 2 years no-cost maintenance and Toyota safety sets.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
The best way to make social distancing fun,
Bible. That's the way you do it. You did it in 10 words.
Is with 25 words or less. More excitement.
Imaginary.
You got that in. More fun.
I just need to get a little more comfortable before I bed. I'm just going to get my little pillow.
And more Meredith.
I know what I would pick on a lonely night, but what were you to pick?
25 words or less.
Weekdays on ABC 6.
This is for Rhode Island. At Amica, we're proud to offer new lower auto insurance rates for Rhode Island drivers. We've been part of New England for over 100 years, and New England has been a part of us because we are a mutual company, owned by policyholders like you, putting you first in everything we do. Call Amica now and see how much you can save with our new lower rates for auto insurance. Experience Amica, auto, home, and life insurance.
Even during these tough times, car insurance companies are making a killing. Over $100 billion in profit. You know how they pull that off while so many of us are hurting? By holding out on the people who need help the most. They don't care. After a crash, don't let the insurance company stuff their pockets by taking money out of yours. I'm Mike Pitaro. I care about you and your case. Let me fight for all the money you deserve. 7's the way to go. Call Mike Pitaro, 777-7777.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Whether you're avoiding foreclosure, facing divorce, or moving, Patriot Home Buyers has a hassle-free solution to selling your home. We buy all types of houses, even those in need of repair. No fees, closing costs, or commissions. Our local family-owned team will provide you with a fast and easy cash offer. For a solution for your home, call or text us today at 401-226-7939.
Involving college basketball fans calling foul after a video posted on TikTok showing the different workout facilities given to the men's and women's teams during March Madness. ABC's Eva Pilgrim has a look at that for us.
University of Oregon forward Sedona Prince posted a TikTok video that went viral.
This is our weight room. Let me show y'all the men's weight room.
That video now viewed more than 7 million times, igniting instant criticism. Stanford coach Tara Vanderveer tweeting,
"My chances."
Wake up to your first forecast with ABC 6 News meteorologist Chelsea Priest.
Gusts are going to continue to...
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
With great deals, get ready to turn your dreams into reality.
Lease an all-wheel drive Camry for $235 a month and get a complimentary first month's payment with 2 years no-cost maintenance and Toyota safety sets.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
The best way to make social distancing fun,
Bible. That's the way you do it. You did it in 10 words.
Is with 25 words or less. More excitement.
Imaginary.
You got that in. More fun.
I just need to get a little more comfortable before I bed. I'm just going to get my little pillow.
And more Meredith.
I know what I would pick on a lonely night, but what were you to pick?
25 words or less.
Weekdays on ABC 6.
This is for Rhode Island. At Amica, we're proud to offer new lower auto insurance rates for Rhode Island drivers. We've been part of New England for over 100 years, and New England has been a part of us because we are a mutual company, owned by policyholders like you, putting you first in everything we do. Call Amica now and see how much you can save with our new lower rates for auto insurance. Experience Amica. Auto, home, and life insurance.
Even during these tough times, car insurance companies are making a killing. Over $100 billion in profit. You know how they pull that off while so many of us are hurting? By holding out on the people who need help the most. They don't care. After a crash, don't let the insurance company stuff their pockets by taking money out of yours. I'm Mike Pitaro. I care about you and your case. Let me fight for all the money you deserve. 7's the way to go. Call Mike Pitaro, 777-7777.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Whether you're avoiding foreclosure, facing divorce, or moving, Patriot Home Buyers has a hassle-free solution to selling your home. We buy all types of houses, even those in need of repair. No fees, closing costs, or commissions. Our local family-owned team will provide you with a fast and easy cash offer. For a solution for your home, call or text us today at 401-226-7939.
8.5 months in solitary confinement will break anybody.
He decided that if he were convicted, he would kill himself rather than do hard time.
He did keep part of a plastic razor. He got rid of the plastic part of the razor and just kept, the little tiny razor. And he just decided, he was not going to go to prison because what, inmates do to cops in prison.
At the trial, prosecutors presented their theory that Paul shot Monica from 2 feet away while both were standing. The defense presented a very different version of events. In the courtroom, they recreated Monica's bedroom, using the actual bed and wall. Nelson Welch showed the jury that the path of the shotgun pellets were inconsistent with the prosecution's theory.
We would start at the brick wall, that is where the pellet impacted. Where it came from the sheetrock, the angle is downward and slightly towards the bed.
From the brick wall, through the sheetrock, to the exit wound in Monica's back, to the entrance wound, to the muzzle. The lines converge much lower than prosecutors say.
The only way to get all of these lined up is in the position in which we have it now.
Which meant that Monica was sitting on the bed with the butt of the shotgun resting on the bed when it went off, which was consistent with Paul's original statement to police. Using a model the same size as Monica, the defense showed that Monica could have easily reached the trigger by leaning forward. The evidence showed that the gun was upside down and pointed upward, making it virtually impossible for Paul to have pulled the trigger.
He'd had to been down at the foot of the bed. It had to be down low in order to reach the trigger because it's way down on the bed. And Monica would have had to have allowed that gun to be pointed into her stomach area at contact while all this was going on.
They overlooked all the evidence that absolutely contradicted the distance of fire being anything but a contact.
Paul's first wife and girlfriend both testified in court that he had never been physically abusive. The jury had to decide between two competing theories. Whether Monica killed herself or whether Paul shot her standing 2 feet away. The jury reached a verdict within minutes.
They all indicated, they went in, they took an initial vote, they all agreed it was a not guilty, and everybody went to the bathroom, combed their hair, and basically killed time because they were afraid that the judge was going to be mad at them if they didn't take a little time.
Paul Dunn embraced his daughter and was rushed from the courtroom.
Smelled fresh air. Jail's not nice. Jail doesn't smell good. And I smell fresh air.
Paul Dunn didn't return to his job on the police force, and he now works as a foreman for an oil company. He says this case changed many of his long-held beliefs. As a cop, he used to believe everyone in prison was guilty, and although he denies ever hitting his wife, he concedes his infidelity brought some of these problems on himself.
You don't go to jail for singing too loud in church. You can bleep this out. Was I an asshole? Yeah. Am I proud of the person I was then? No.
The question remained, did Monica commit suicide? Many believe she simply couldn't stand losing Paul to another woman, despite evidence she had been unfaithful herself. Medical records show Monica had an abortion during her marriage, long after Paul had a vasectomy.
And now I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to malign the dead. It's not for me to judge.
Just how Monica got the bruises remains unknown, and the letter she left behind raises more questions.
The bruises on me will show. She writes that a month before her death. How do you know a month before you die that you're going to have bruises on your body? Statements like that just make it look like not only did she plan to kill herself, but she planned to set him up to, be charged with murder.
A misinterpretation of the crime scene almost sent Paul Dunn to prison for life. But a more complete forensic examination ultimately set him free.
I was scared to death because they're big brother. My pockets were tapped and my father's pockets were tapped. And big brother has endless supplies. And they wanted to put me in prison for the rest of my life. And knowing that I didn't do it, didn't make it easier for me to sit through the trial. I was scared to death.
The most difficult thing for people to do is to say, I made a mistake. And they just never, I don't know that they will do it today. But the jury sure found out that they made a mistake.
Wake up to your first forecast with ABC 6 News meteorologist Chelsea Priest.
Guests are going to continue to
Weekdays starting at 5 a.m. on ABC 6.
Ready, set, go to Toyota of Dartmouth. For this month only, 2021 Toyota Corolla LE leases are just $139 per month. Or for only $229 per month, lease the all-wheel drive 2021 Toyota RAV4 LE. And for a limited time, 2021 Toyota Highlander L all-wheel drive leases start at $249 per month. Toyota of Dartmouth, your hometown dealer of choice for over 30 years. Cleaned and sanitized daily for your protection.
Who is USAA made for? It's made for this guy, a veteran who honorably served. And it's made for her. She's serving now. We made it for all branches and all ranks, whether they served one tour or made a career of it. We also made USAA for military spouses and their kids. USAA is easy to work with and can save you money on auto, home, and renter's insurance. Become a member today. Call us for a quote. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
Get an internet experience that puts you at the center. Cox Internet, starting at just $29.99 a month for up to 10 megs. Upgrade to Gigablast, and you'll never need to slow down. Connect to Panoramic Wi-Fi Advanced Security to protect your devices. Plus, you can pause your Wi-Fi for family time. Get internet that's all about you. Cox Internet, starting at $29.99 a month for up to 10 megs. Call or click today.
Make no mistake, when you're seriously injured in an accident, the insurance company is playing to win. They're trying to keep the money you are owed. You need to protect your future.
I called Y'Oliveira and Associates. Called the law firm with the power that I needed.
The lawyers with the power, experience, and resources to get me more.
Local lawyers that could level the playing field.
I'm glad I called.
If you've been injured in an accident, tell them you mean business. Call D'Oliveira and Associates on the Hurt Line. right now.
Bringing you breaking news as it happens.
How dare they?
Getting you ready for what's coming up next. ABC 6 News first at 4.
We're tracking a rain-snow line.